That's just like I heard one dude that was talking about.
Since I know they didn't hear nothing we said in the beginning, welcome to another episode of Something for the People.
Really?
This is your boy B Hunt,
Wow.
aka the Solid Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country. Say what's up, Big Country.
What's good, people? What's good?
In more pressing news, you bought a boudet.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I say so fresh and so clean.
I believe it. So part of what we was talking about was the boudet and its connection to bathhouses and sex orgies across on the other side. And you were saying,
Well, I mean, I bought it because I like to be clean.
right.
I'm like, I don't understand how people nowadays could think anything's gay about making sure you're clean.
No.
Like, for example, how many black men you honestly would say right now would actually use a bidet?
I use a boudet.
How many? And like, honestly, like, I'm not saying there are going to always be some outliers, but for the majority, I don't think most black men would use it. That's just like the whole thing about lotion. There was one dude that was talking about, oh, well, I don't lotion my legs like that because, a dude shouldn't be rubbing all on his legs and things like that. I'm like, it's just a little.
You see, I feel like we got terms mixed up. Men being men ain't toxic. Men being foolish. Like, I can't lotion my legs because I'm a man.
Yeah,
I can't use a boudet.
Like a popsicle. You remember they do the memes with the popsicle? Ooh, that's gay. I'm like, it's a popsicle.
It's like
I can't eat a popsicle without somebody.
Eat a popsicle, you can't eat a banana.
Yeah.
Can't eat a corny dog. You know what I'm saying? It's just at a certain point. If you got to start taking. I could understand the LGBTQ community on that. You got to start taking jabs at them people. I do believe everybody get the opportunity to get laughed at equally.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Although sometimes I feel like black people get laughed at disproportionately, but still, is what it is. But at their expense, I'd be like, look, man, if you can't eat cylindrical foods,
yeah,
because now you making
so food make me look like I'm like no.
But,
or just like, oh, I want to make sure I'm clean, I'm fresh. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sorry, I don't do the whole streaks thing. I'm like, if you ask my wife right now, she'll sit here and tell you, he buy wet wipes more than I buy more than she does. Because I'm like, oh,
But that's the thing. We got to get past the false notion and those stereotypes to where we can't be one cleanly.
Yeah.
Or we can't do what's in our best interest. We can't do what's healthy for us and stuff like that. Because in reality, Americans are so far behind the times when it come to boudet. Like you go over to China and these other places, they got them everywhere. Yeah. It's the standard. And it shoot back there, it cleans me up. I ain't got to worry about that no more. And you know what I'm saying? Tissue, no matter how you think or how clean you think you got it, the whole
you get
thing
one more good.
Only thing you doing is taking it and spreading it around. That's it. It's still there. There's still, but with a boudet on the other hand, hey, you freshened up, you clean. And I understand that it's history being in the bathhouses and the little.
But you got places. Would you rather want to be clean or dirty? And I'm sorry, I don't believe in the whole dirty thing. Yeah. I don't want smell. I don't want to be like, oh, I have to take a shower.
Right.
Like, you remember in the early 1900s, they took a bath once a week.
Yeah.
Before the 1900s, it was like once every 3 weeks, a month.
Well, it was one point where in European societies, they took it when they got married, pretty much. And that's why they had the honeymoon, because that was the cleanest she was going to be for a while.
Oh, Lord, no.
And you just think about that, like, man, I had to deal with this thing for how long? I know you ain't getting.
I just always think about the funk.
Had to be crazy.
It had to. Like,
it had to be crazy.
But, I mean, take care of your body. Clean. They always say cleanliness is next to godliness. Right. But I'm like, just be clean.
What are you saying? To go if you see a boudet in the store, your local Walmart, possibly. Go ahead and buy you one.
Yeah, $40.
Ain't
Why
gonna
not?
hurt you. Because I guarantee you, let the next COVID crisis come out and everybody run to the store and buy all the tissue paper. You ain't worried about that no more. I got a boudet. I don't have to do that no more. I'm clean. I'm clean all the time. Moving on, a young man saves 3 women and a cop from drowning when a car drives into a river.
I have to give them mad respect.
Oh, most definitely.
Like, and the reason I say I have to give him mad respect, you jump in there to save people. Yes, he was on the swim team, but the thing is, he went in there to save people and end up having to save the police officer too, because of the fact the police officer was drowning.
And just so we can get his name right, it was 16-year-old Corian Evans. 16-year-old black teen jumped into action. He jumped into the water to save these people. You know what I'm saying?
And you know they always make it seem like black people don't care.
No,
we can't swim, and we don't care.
But this dude been swimming since 3 years old. Shout out to letting y'all know we get out here in the water. My daughter, she can swim. You know what I'm saying?
Mine working on swimming.
But
we working on that.
Remove that.
Yeah, that's very true. Black people can't swim.
Get in the water.
I wonder where that stereotype came from.
I don't know. Well, I believe it came from. So you know how they took black people and put them on the boat, right? And then you send them across the sea. Well, of course you got insurance, but insurance came from the boating industry, specifically the transporting of slaves from one place to another. If you lost all your slaves, that means you can file an insurance claim. Well, if you brought even one slave back to the land, you didn't lose all your product, and there's no insurance claim. So what they do is they, tie rocks and stuff to your feet and throw you overboard, and all the people fly off overboard and they drown. Thus, the concept black people can't swim.
But if you put rock on anybody, and
look, I'm just telling you the logic of the people from the past. Not saying that that's the people of the day. I would hope that there's not a group of people out there. Specifically, I don't know. Maybe they have like a MAGA hat on or something like that. I don't know, but
a MAGA hat.
They wouldn't want to throw you in the ocean. I'm not saying that Joe Biden is, but I ain't gonna get on politics today.
Yeah, there's so much you can talk.
Yeah, we talking about Mr. Corian, Mr. Evans.
Man, I just shout him out because, like, for you to be a young man risking your life to save other people's lives, you are actually going above and beyond what's called of you. Not only did you save one person's life, but you went back
to save the cop. Because the cop, he was saving the 3 girls, and then the cop that got called to the scene. So he was just on the scene, saw it, and jumped into action because he knew he was capable. The cop was called to the scene, and I respect this cop because, hey, I may not be the best swimmer, but I'm the person these people got right now. So he jumped over in the water and was trying to bring the girls back too. The only issue is he probably wasn't swimming since 3 years old.
But my question for this, and it's not to be a jerk, but it's like, when he jumped in the water, was it because his bulletproof vest was too heavy, or?
Might have been. It could be several things. I mean,
I ain't jumping in the water unless I know I could get it.
But you say that, but the thing about it is, there's so much flack thrown at cops because of what they don't do. Because right now we got the one cop that was in there when the kids got shot up at the school. He was talking about, well, I was waiting on backup, I was waiting on this, I was waiting on that, and then they got flack for that. Now you got this cop who was like, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the incident is, they need me, I'm going. I'm not going to give him any flack. Why? Because, hey, he saw people was in need and he went
and I'm not
put myself at risk.
But I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking about it because for me, I'll die for my family without a shadow of a doubt. And I can swim, but I wouldn't be able to swim good enough to save my wife and my 2 kids. Like, I wish I could. Like, I can swim to keep myself afloat and maybe get one person, but for he got 3 people and the police officer.
But they
But
were all staying afloat as best they could. I'm not saying that they was amazing, but they were staying afloat, so he had time to get everybody. You know what I'm saying? And with the cop, I just feel like, man, if I had the option between him and a Derek Chauvin, coming to my aid, give me that guy who might fail, but I know he was moving it. He was trying to help me out. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand that, and I respect that too. I just was thinking about it. I was like, man, it'd be like, that's like if somebody is going to come to a scene of the crime to help you out because, let's say there's a shootout, but he come and he ain't got no gun.
But he came. And if he jump in the line of fire on my behalf, I'm still gonna show him respect. Granted, I would be far happier if he had brought necessary tools, but to know that he himself or her herself consider themselves a force, so they gonna look on your behalf, even if I'm not really prepared for this. The oath I took as an officer gonna take precedent over what I have readily available to me. So if all I got is me to stand between you and the gunman or whatever that is, although I hate for that person to lose his life, her life, still, if that's what you signed up to do, then that's what you signed up to do.
Okay. I mean,
unless you're in Chicago. Because I still stand behind what I said.
Bruh. You can't leave the scene of the crime.
Just, what am I going to do? He saw me. He just hopped right out, started dumping.
But you took the same oath.
Nah, that man gone.
The same oath,
look,
though.
Bro, look, dog.
Okay, if you don't know what we're talking about right now, we're talking about a couple months back, we were talking about a police officer that was right there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Mm-hmm. He was sitting there in his squad car, and a guy came up, just shot another person.
Yeah. Right
and
there in his face.
Instead of the police officer getting out of the car to try to help or save the person or even shoot back or something, he just drove off. And then came back 5 minutes later like, what's going on?
Back up. The person
You're
gone.
Right there.
I was there. I lived to tell that story. That's how I look at it for that cop. I lived to tell the story. Like,
but they weren't aiming for you.
All I know is I was able to get home, and ain't no need in having two caskets. You already down bad, bro.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree because I'm like, if you put this oath out there, come on, man.
Look, I respect that. I respect both these cops in both these situations. One that jumped into action, and even though he was ill prepared when it came to swimming. And then another one who decided, I want to go see my kids today.
I respect the cop that jumped into action. You're not going to hit me with the, oh, well, I'll be back.
Damage is done.
How you know he just killed him? He could have just been bleeding out.
Bro, he with the bus. Either way.
Wow.
Highland Park parade shooting. Suspect charged with 7 counts of murder. Of course, he injured a lot more people. A lot of more people.
I don't understand what is going on in this world. I don't understand why people are doing all these mass shootings. There's been over 200 this year alone.
Right.
And I don't understand. I don't want to hear mental health because mental health, I know people that have mental disabilities. I've been in situations where I've had to help people that had mental disabilities. But now all of a sudden, all these people are coming up, shoot everybody. Just shoot them. The one in Las Vegas, the one in Buffalo, New York. You could keep going.
You can. And
I'm like, at some point in time, I don't care about your mental health when it's regarding everyone else.
Well, because the gunman was underage, his father had to sign for him to get the gun. And he ended up buying 5 weapons within a short period of time. So, but his father already knew before he signed that document that his son had made some questionable statements, regarding using a gun to kill people. So I'm saying, one, you as a father should be held. I feel like the dad should be held accountable.
Yes, definitely.
But his father also was running for what was it? He was running for office at one point.
Man, but just explain to me what made you decide, like, and they don't even go after the person they looking for. Like, I understand, well, I don't understand, but I could understand it more. The person that was bullying you, beating you up, things like that, the person that was been teasing you all year, I could see more why you went after them. But you're just going after people, random people now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I want you, and you. What we do? I don't even know you from the can of paint.
Yeah.
But I want y'all. Tell me how that makes sense.
I can't explain the psyche of it, because if I could, then I'd write a book, and I'd probably, in this day and age, I'd be well off.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a different type of person really diving deep into these subjects to even figure this out remotely, like at all, because it don't make sense.
Yeah.
It really just don't.
Just like the one in Texas, which made no sense, and he even announced it a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean,
after he shot his his grandma,
who survived,
and then he got into a car wreck on the way to the school.
I did not know that.
They were talking about he got into a car wreck on the way to the school. Then he walked past, I think it was a security guard, when he got to the school.
He was just
all these occasions,
all these occasions to stop this situation from taking place.
And I know gun control is not the number one thing or will help everything, but something gotta give.
Something do gotta give.
Because all it's gonna be is more people shooting. And as I was telling you one day, I was like, I'm not saying it's right, and I understand it's a slippery slope. But if everybody can keep getting away with it and just get, oh, well, we're going to give you life in prison or 40 years or whatever, it's like, that's not harsh enough.
Yeah.
You took people's lives away. People will never see their wives, their husbands, their children.
But Robert Crimo, which is the Jew's father, says he wants his son to serve a long sentence. I would be like, well, what do you think he gonna serve? Like, I would feel like, what type of privilege you working with to make you feel like your son would get a short one? I'd be like, life imprisonment don't sound too short to me.
I understand life in prison, but like I said, how they got life in prison now? You got TV, you get all your food. Yeah. Some people play video games.
So my question to you would be, what do you feel like would be a worthy sentence for something of this magnitude?
I'm gonna be honest, and I'm just saying it because that's how I feel. A life for a life.
Oh, okay.
And yes, you don't get to live and I won't feel all this stuff. I get the remorse and regret all my sins and stuff like that. Hold up. There'll be people out here torturing people. Like that one woman that cut her baby's arms off a long time back. Oh, yes. I'm like, or the other woman that drowned her kids.
Yeah.
Or the man, all these things keep happening. Oh, well, we're going to give you life. You got all the time to just chill out. That's all you're doing is chill out. You got 3 square meals. Mm-hmm. You go to they don't take
recreational time. You got meal time. You got sleep time. It's just it's like being in a boarding school type.
Only thing you can't leave
the premises.
That's what it is. You can't leave.
And I think that's kind of crazy. I'm not saying that they can't leave. I'm all for you not leaving. What I am saying is, you put these people in this circumstance, this situation, to where it's almost as if the prison system wants the prisoners to do the punishment.
Yeah.
Because the first thing a person's gonna tell you, and I hope you get raped in prison. Why? Why is that like the first thing they throw out to you? Like, I thought you was sending to be reformed. In his situation, I don't think people looking for him to come back rehabilitated. It's like we don't really want rehabilitation. In that case, we just want you locked up for a long period of time. So I'm not saying.
Truth be told, more people won't just come out and admit it, but more people believe in an eye for an eye.
Yeah,
because
we're reading the death penalty.
Yes, a lot of people agree with. Some people are gonna be like, "No, only God can give or take life," and I respect that. But people ain't respecting that. That's like if you're playing on, like you're playing checkers. But somebody else playing chess. Like, what I'm saying is, like, you're looking at it as, like, only God can give or take life.
Yeah.
Respect that. And I understand that. But all the people doing the bad are like, man, I'm playing chess here. I don't follow by the rules of checkers.
You're right. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
And that's why I'm saying it's a messed up thing. And I may get a lot of flack for it. But I'm like,
no, I highly doubt it. Because in essence, when you start taking into the account the body toll that's accumulating, when you take in the fact that those people at Highland Park got killed, like you said, they ain't gonna see their families, and who is this gentleman to decide whether you get to go home with your kids or not? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
we accept it when it's God because hey, fate is fate.
Yes,
things of that nature. But when it's another person out here who made that decision for you or tried to make that decision on God's behalf, we ought to say, no, you don't have that level of power. You shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
We live in a world where the lines are blurred and you don't necessarily know if the person standing next to you going to take your life, the person who's supposed to be protecting you going to take your life.
Like you're not protected nowhere.
Right.
You can't go to church. You're going to get shot there. You can't go... Man, you can't go to school. You're going to get shot there. You can't be at home on your sofa. You getting shot there.
You could possibly ask Breonna Taylor that, laying at home in bed. Also, at the exact same time, same day, in Chicago, there was more bodies that piled up from a day in the life of a Chicago person than it was at a mass shooting. I mean, I'm sure they were all separate incidents, and it's like, oh, this person was getting revenge on that person was getting revenge on that person, vice versa. But at the same time, the location alone is putting your life in jeopardy.
Yeah, that is true. But it's some people that people look for an excuse for everything. It's like, oh, wow, it's Tuesday. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of them today. Like 4th of July, like I used to, when I was young, I was naive. And I was like, oh, well, like Christmas is a great day. You know, everybody should be happy. No lives should be taken. Oh, these holidays and stuff like that. No, nobody care about that.
No.
All they going to do is like, oh, I'm going to try to X you out real quick.
Try to finish it up real quick like.
Like, oh, he had a party?
I'm going to get him right here. I'm getting him right there. Shouldn't be there.
Oh, that little girl that's right by him? She shouldn't have been by him.
But that's one thing, like I tell you all the time, I'm not somebody who just gonna sit here and say that I do believe in this gun control thing. I feel like I do want them to have more barriers to getting to a gun, but most of the instances in which these people got them or attained them, they went through the proper channels through the law. So it's not like it's some guy getting a gun off the street, you know. Most of the time, a major argument for gun control is always, well, the criminals don't care about gun control. Problem is, the criminals at this point using gun control to get the gun. Like I don't have no.
I'm gonna just buy a gun.
Just buy a gun. Pop, I need you to sign this. Why? Because I'm trying to buy a gun. Okay, signs it. Now you go off and you go shoot people at the 4th of July party. Like, come on, we got to start. As much as it pains me to say it, the rules are not made for the majority. It's made for the minority. It's made for smaller people, you know.
And one of the things, I'm just going to be honest, I think parents should never, under any, I don't care if we're hunting, like, no, your child don't need a gun. Like, you could have guns, you lock your guns up, oh, we're going hunting. You know what?
I'm going to go get the gun.
Let's go get the guns. I'll load it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get out to the hunting site, we'll hunt. I'm going to take the gun back. I'm going to lock it back up.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my friends, he's more one of my brother's friends, but he's my friend too. His name's Kyle. He has a huge gun chest that you actually have to put in a combination to padlock, all that kind of stuff, because he has 2 little girls.
Yeah.
And I understand that. And I was like, bro, because he had 2 guns way high up. I was like, why you got them 2 guns way high up if you got a... And he was like, oh, well, those are the cheap guns. So if somebody do steal those guns, I'm not really worried about it. But this is where all my actual artillery is. Right. And I'm like, okay, cool. Your little girls can't get to it. They can't touch it. They don't know the combination.
Right.
Like,
you gotta be smart. If you gonna have dangerous things, you have to be smart.
Yes.
You have to play it safe. So I respect that, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I was like, I respect that a lot.
Yeah, it's more than respectful. And that's the thing about it. If everybody was that, you know, to the point, like that detail, like, no, I need the chest. If I'm gonna have any gun on display as a deterrent to get to my real guns, they should be high up. So yeah,
there's no way
my kids can't get to that. And that's respectful. Yeah. If you're going to do it, make sure you're protecting the people. Because what's the point of having a gun to protect the people if the gun is what's used to hurt the people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And your own guns. So, no.
Like, you heard those cases where, a child was playing with the gun in the house. And
it was
your gun.
You remember the video back in the past where the little kid ended up shooting they sell in somebody and I think their cousin or something in the restroom, but and the parents were sitting out there. The kids in the restroom, the parents were sitting outside the restroom and heard the gun go off and hit both kids. And I was just like, why is your baby in the vicinity of this gun? And it's their gun.
Yeah.
Why is your child even there? Ain't no way. Paige walking here with a water gun. Wait, let me check. Is this real? I need to know. It could be rainbow colored. Nah, baby. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Understand that this is not a game. This is not a toy. I mean, granted, the Nerf gun would probably be a toy, but still. It's certain things that adults do that you don't.
I wouldn't even want my kids to have a toy gun nowadays.
Yeah.
You remember what happened to Tamir Rice?
Boy sitting outside in that pavilion with a toy gun. Mm-hmm. The cop drove by, shot him, and drove. Yeah. I remember that.
And basically, the state told him Ohio told the parents they got to pay for the funeral and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, y'all killed him.
You took my baby life.
He was a young little boy.
Like, and you saw he was like, you drove up, you saw he was, and you didn't get out to do all that extra, no negotiation, no trying to break it. No, you just shot the baby.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know, I wasn't there, but also that cop.
They had it on videotape.
Yeah, but that same cop, it's been 2 attempts now. He was about to get a job. I forgot exactly where, but both of them were small towns. This recent one was another small town, and they was gonna fast track him into sheriff or SWAT. It's like, one of the higher positions, but they already started a petition to stop that. Like, no, he shouldn't even be in law enforcement, period.
How do you get to be in law enforcement?
Buddy, I can't tell you. I can't tell you that. All right, moving to the bread and butter of this podcast. Relationships. Should trying to keep a family together be the reason to remain in a relationship?
Do you want to go first? You want me to?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
My thing is, so the whole notion of trying to we just gonna try to make this work. I'm not for that. I'd be like, look, because if y'all both got a toxic nature, then it's gonna be problematic. You can grab that. But if y'all both got a toxic nature, and y'all are for the most part gonna be who the kids see, the representation for the kids. So when they looking at a relationship and a functional relationship, yeah. What? All right, but when you're looking at the relationship, and you gonna be how they represent it, like boom, this is how a relationship is supposed to work. So, one, you setting your kid up for failure by staying in something that's toxic, and you shouldn't be trying to maintain it, and then you encouraging them to stay in relationships that can, one, either be dangerous for them, because what if it's an abusive relationship, and that's either physical, mental, verbal, any level of abuse. So, that being said, I personally do not champion the whole, if you in a relationship and you got kids and you're trying to maintain a family unit, I don't believe in staying simply for the kids. We've shown on multiple occasions that there's a better way. If it like families where the husband and wife or the two partners aren't necessarily together can still work, because it's still, all it really takes is a good line of communication and a whole lot of respect. If you got those two things, communication so I can know what's going on with my kids, and then respect, because eventually, hopefully, you move on and you get in a relationship with somebody else, and you don't want to put that in the mix. You don't want to have it where I'm talking to this person but you upset and you don't respect my new relationship or whatever it may be. So,
I mean, I agree with that, understand that. Like, for me, I'm a firm believer in children shouldn't make us or break us when it comes to, we're going to stay in a relationship because we're with children.
Right.
We have children with us. Now, my thing is, if you got together and y'all trying it out, I don't believe in just giving up just because it was like, just give up. But if it's toxic, and I hate that word toxic so much, but if this relationship is something that you truly don't want, don't be there.
Don't do it.
Like, that, simple and easy. I wouldn't be where I don't want to be.
Right.
I'm not getting in no relationships. I'm not getting married. I'm not doing none of that stuff unless I want to do it. And I would tell that to any man or woman. Like, you should know, okay, but I will also still tell you, you shouldn't have children with someone you don't want to be with, that you can't see yourself truly being committed to.
Right.
That's how I look at it, because a lot of times in today's society, we put the cart before the horse. Oh, we rather have babies and all this kind of stuff, and then we'll see if we could work this relation out.
Yeah, we can make it. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like, yeah. You know what? Think about a car dealership. You know what? What we gonna do is, hey, we gonna give you the car, and then we'll figure out how you gonna pay us later.
Yeah.
They would be like, no, you ain't gonna get the product before I get to know how it works.
That's like a job. A job wants to know that you're putting in the work. You can't get paid before you do work.
Right, you can't. So you got to make sure it's a quality situation, regardless. Like, yeah, if I'm with you, baby, perfect. And if we working good, then we move on into having these kids. Now, granted, sometimes you move on to having these kids, and then the issues don't come up till later. What I'm saying is, hey, if you're going to try to work it out, try to work it out. But if you know deep down in your soul that this
ain't going to work for you.
This ain't going to work. I would prefer y'all make a certain arrangement or agreement. I don't personally feel like you should go and put the government and the police and the court system in your business. But because that's just like telling me I need a parent to be in a relationship. If you need a parent or control for you to be in a relationship, you shouldn't be in a relationship. It is what it is. So we as two consenting adults, we laid down, had these kids. Now that same conversation that brought us together needs to put us in a position where, hey, we can talk about these kids and moving forward. You know, like how we gonna do this? Because it's us now. We got somebody else who looking to us for the answers.
I agree.
Let's show them a different way. If we gonna show them anything, let's show them a good way. If it ain't the traditional nuclear family with the father, the mother, and everybody living under the same house with the same rules, that's fine. But when he go to your house, ain't no disrespecting your mama. When he come to mine, ain't no respect your dad. Ain't, like, it's all
we can make it work
we can
one
make it
way
work.
or another.
Guaranteed.
If we're together, that's great. That's fine. That's cool. But if it's not going to work between the parents, we ain't going to stay here and be miserable together, because the main thing you're going to do is take it out on your children.
Uh-huh.
You're going to take it out on your children. Don't want to be here. Don't like this person. Oh, well, why'd y'all get married? Why'd y'all stay married? Or why y'all together, all that? Oh, well, we did for the sake of the kids. Then you're going to get divorced right once the kids get out of the house.
Right.
Like, I've seen a lot of couples do it.
And then I be sitting up there, you know, I got friends whose parents got divorced after they, you know, moved on and moved out. So it's like, the whole time you talking to your friend, they tell you, oh, I already knew, that was already a bad situation. I just, you know, you just set up a whole bunch of negative images in that person's brain moving into their adult life of what a relationship is. A relationship is just toxic all the way around anyway. So then they grow that's the acceptance. That's what I expect. I expect you to be trash. I expect you to be garbage.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it don't have to be that way. Like, it don't have to be that way. It can be something totally different. It can actually be beneficial to you.
Yeah.
So no.
And I do agree, not putting the government, child support, and all that stuff in your life. But I'm also on the other hand too. If you're not stepping up to a plate on your half, bruh, don't be complaining about child support. You had the opportunity.
You had the opportunity to do it right.
Now, if all of a sudden at the Blues she starts hitting you with that, I'm like, you could at least gave me the opportunity to show you
what I could do for you. A lot of women end up biting themselves in the butt with that too, because the father will be putting in all kinds of work, and they just feel like, oh well, let me go and get this person. Okay, now when they tell you where he used to be spending, where he spent half his check to make sure his kids was A-okay, now the government say, oh, he only got to pay X number of dollars, which is $100.
Oh, I've seen that happen to a few people I know right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're over there putting in mad effort, like, oh, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy these clothes, I'm going to get this money whenever I get paid, and all that. So the mother, I guess she just felt, oh, she'd get more if she put the government in his life.
Mm-hmm.
They end up cutting the money he was giving, like, basically in half.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now you in your feelings. No.
And then the crazy thing is, you say, if you find yourself in that position, say them receipts. Because you can have it to where now you owe me money.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I was only supposed to be paying this. I got all these receipts. Now now you owe me money. Now I ain't going to say be a petty dude and go and try to get that back. But at the same time, I'm also saying that what you call it, an eye for an eye?
Yeah.
You came at me with this sideways treatment. Now, if I do decide to put it in your life like this, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that don't hurt nobody but the kids.
Like, that's just like the video that we saw last week about the man who was bringing his child McDonald's. So I saw the full version clip of that video, and he does this all the time. He always comes like every day, every other day to bring his child food and stuff like that. And he always tries to get his child to come with him. He was like, it's no problem. I'll take my child with me. We could go. Oh, no. He's not going to eat McDonald's. He's not going to eat this if everybody can't eat that. And that's where it gets to the point where it's like, that's not my responsibility.
No, you putting undue stress on me and my child's relationship. You limiting my child's quality of life because you feel like you have this sense of entitlement. Anybody who laid up in bed with me owes me. No. For that kid, I owe that child. I got a responsibility to that one particular child.
Yeah.
Only reason you're in this situation with me, period, is because I had the kid with you. You are really a non-factor. You not somebody that's necessary for the interaction between me and my kid. You want to insert yourself, but in reality, me and this kid can go on about our lives and act as if you do not exist.
It's very
Facts.
true. I 100% agree.
So stop being a burden to your own child. Let your kid have his blessings. Out of all the dudes you slept with one good one that we know of anyway. Because he rain, sleet, or snow, my kid gonna eat. So whether you want him to eat in front of these kids or eat behind their back or just come live with me, whatever you choose, just know the one right there, that one, I'm gonna call him Junior because I don't know his name. Junior over there gonna have at least a Junior bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah. And what was bad was at the very end of the video, he was like, well, I just want to give my kid his food. I want to give my son his food. So she was like, oh, well, here. And he gave her the drink and the thing, and she threw them both out in the street. I'm like, so you're being petty now.
Because now you're wasting that man money. I'm glad it's all on video. Because I'd take that to the local courses and be like, look, I can't give my child the quality of life that my child deserves because she's too busy focusing on other people's children. Granted, they're her kids, but they're not mine. So, Your Honor, I feel like we can lessen the burden on her because she already told us the food stamps don't come in, so ain't no food in the house. That's reckless with children. Like, there's got to be something against it.
Yeah.
There's got to be a law against that. I can help her. There's one plate she can put away for
it's 4 children
leftovers.
She's getting over $1,000 in food stamps. You're getting over $1,000 a month. You're with the pandemic, everything. Excuse me. With the pandemic and everything going on right now, she's getting at least $1,000 in food stamps right now.
And you can't make $1,000 stretch a month?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that makes no sense.
It don't make no sense. You need to stop. Don't go to the grocery store and buy all the shrimp and lobster. Okay? Buy some chicken. Okay?
Like, I'm willing to bet if we go and pick apart her finances and all that kind of stuff, and I know somebody gonna say that that's far-fetched and that's too much and everything, but you do realize you're knocking a man for doing the right thing.
Right. Because there's some women out there, I guarantee you, like, just right, girl. Like, okay. Pressure. That's all.
Yeah.
Pressure. But regardless, when it comes down to that man doing for his child, let that man do for his child. And should I try to make it work with you just because I got a kid with you? For those who have done it, I commend you. Don't get me confused. There is a level of respect that I'm gonna pay to any man who say, I got kids with this woman, I'm gonna make this work. Because I do believe that's what you got to go through in a relationship. A relationship is, no matter what takes place, I got my guidelines and rules, but it's not much you can do to make me not be with you. But I also feel like that's a stance that has to be grown and cultivated and nurtured over time. So I laid up with you, one night stand, we end up with a kid. I can understand that, hey, this wasn't supposed to happen. It did happen, and we just trying to make the best of the situation. But sometimes the best of the situation ain't necessarily being with you. It might just be, I'm here to assist you, and I'm guaranteed to be in my child's life. So you ain't got to worry about the kid feeling like abandonment issues and none of that. I got that. I'll be here for mine. Moving into You Won't Believe This. This segment of You Won't Believe This is brought to you by...
Oh, so we actually have 2 things. We need everybody here to go to YouTube, like and subscribe to the podcast. We're actually on YouTube, something for Number 4, DA people. Like, so when you so you can actually do a little something extra for the people. Like, check us out, like, ring the bell, subscribe. We're out there.
You out there.
The other thing, also shout out Traces Like Mine, Yanni Like Mine, and Wasted Desires. If you don't know why I shout out so much, it's because of my beautiful wife. I love my wife, even when she gets on my nerves. So, I'm going to always uplift and shout out everything she has going. And the same with friends, family, just for people that are trying to do their best.
Right.
So, with those companies, look up Wasted Desires. Is actually a good company, a reputable company by 2 black women. They do waist beads, anklets. They do thigh chains. They do. They basically do everything.
Did she look into what I said? The bridesmaid garters.
I mean, I think that's the thigh chain thing because they have like a whole bunch of different ones.
Okay. I need them to label it that though. Bridesmaid's garter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these fees up here can feel like, because there's a lot of women they ain't gonna get married, bro. Let's be real.
A lot of people aren't gonna get married.
So what they need is that moment to feel like a bride, even if it's, the groomsmen come up and they removing garters. That's if you're single groomers. But your boyfriend might boo you.
Are you married? But I'm still groomsman.
I'm a groom. For that one right there, I'm a groom.
Let me get that. But also Traces Like Mine and Yanni Like Mine, made by a black woman for a black woman. It's all organic, is all natural hair oils and things of that nature. Things to help your hair grow, things to strengthen your hair, things to condition and clean your hair. Same thing with Yanni Like Mine. Is all natural for a woman's body. I'm trying not to be ignorant and say it the other way. Make sure you take care of yourself.
Yeah. It's the boudet.
Bidet.
The boudet.
Okay. Wow.
Feminine probably keeps you clean, keeps you fresh, and that's when you at your best. So, Jerone Davis, the GOP candidate out of Arizona, he has a new campaign, and he's letting you know when it comes to the Second Amendment, ain't nothing coming in between that, because sometimes you need an AR-15.
You do know when they were talking, when the Founding Fathers came up with the Second Amendment, they weren't talking about AR-15s, Uzis.
They didn't exist.
Assault rifles, AK-47s, none of that. They had muskets. They were putting powder in the mugs and pop. You got one off. You may have had a 6-shooter, maybe. And that was if you had money. But now, all of a sudden, everybody wants a gun. Everybody pushing guns. We have way too many guns. And I know, us being in Texas, I'm going to get a lot of flack for that one.
Yeah, you're
getting
it right now.
Don't get me
What
wrong.
You talking about
I'm not saying you shouldn't have a gun. But, bro, when are you ever going to hunt a gun with AR? When are you ever going to hunt an animal with AR-15? Oh, wait.
I don't know.
You're not. That is not how you shoot animals. That is not how it works.
Well, one thing, I don't know why they keep throwing that hunting around. Like, people don't go buy AR-15s and say, oh, this is going to be a great hunting rifle. Unless they talk about, most people buy that and be like, if anybody come in my lane, I'm always stand my ground. You know?
Yes, it ain't for hunting.
It ain't for hunting unless you talk about hunting people.
And that's all I'm saying.
It is what it is, They gonna claim, they gonna screen protection. We gonna cry wolf. We gonna get this gun. That's what we gonna do.
And if you ask us, no, I'm boar hunting. I'm boar hunting. That's why I got an AR-15.
But I mean, it's so much been put into politics now that, like, the NRA is one of the highest things that have been put into politics, and I would say the last at least 25 years.
Yeah.
It's like at the top of politics. So basically, everybody talks about gun control or having a lot of guns.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a middle ground. Yeah, bro, have a gun, protect yourself. But you don't need.
Yeah.
I don't need to put a code to go into a room in my house and it's guns lined up all the way
And
down
some
there.
people like John Wick.
What was John Wick?
An assassin.
So obviously, what are you gonna do with them guns? Like,
okay.
You got like 70 guns?
So when the first time they really brought up gun control, as far as I know anyway, I could be wrong, but if you want to fact check me, I think. But Black Panther Party came out and they was holding guns, and people was like, "Oh no, a black guy wearing a black beret and a leather jacket, that's a problem."
Yeah.
We need to limit the amount of guns they can hold on to.
Because they were using their Second Amendment right.
Right. And now they're like, well, we got to take that right away. Now, those people holding those guns, I don't necessarily know. We can look up that statistic, but I don't think very many people died at the hands of the Black Panther Party from the guns that they was toting, and they was mostly in protest or whatever. You got guns, I got guns, I'll protect myself.
Yeah.
That was their stance the majority of the time when they was walking around with them. Nothing gonna happen. You ain't got to worry about me holding it because, hey, you don't do nothing, I ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
Period. And most times it went that way. But now you got instances where people are going into schools, standing on top of buildings, all these other things, and they shooting into crowds of unarmed people, and they mostly doing it without a probable cause. There's no motive behind it outside of, I felt like killing people today.
Like,
so
I think about it and I always like, okay, let's play fair then. If you just like, man, I'm gonna shoot some people. Hey, nobody be out unless you got a gun. So I could shoot back. Oh, but nobody wants that. You want to be the only one with a gun and people firing off on you.
Nobody want to go and do no, what was that movie? The Purge. Nobody want to really do the Purge, okay?
Man, you be surprised how many people talk about the Purge, though.
Being stupid, buddy. Look, loss of life is loss of life. You
And
gotta
we
gotta stop making this false premise that, oh, we gonna go out and kill each other, and as long as we okay with killing each other, it's fine. We are not barbarians no more. Like,
I hate to say it, but I'd rather all the people that want to just go out and kill each other. Hey, man, you know what? Y'all go on out there. We give y'all some land out there. Hey, every day around this time, if you just feel that itch, go on out there. Y'all gonna do that. Versus you firing off into a crowd of people just being like, oh.
That seed will grow. Next thing you know, they're going to be like, we need to increase the amount of land because there's a lot of people who pay their $50 to come onto this land and get shot up. We losing customers bad.
What's bad, man, it sounds like an old paintball thing. You know how everybody get the paintball guns and be wanting to fire off on people and stuff like that? But this is actually real life. These are guns. These kill people.
It's death.
And it's like people magically just come out like, oh, you in church. Man, what was bad was, what was it, Dylan Ruth, I think. He over here talking about, oh, they were real nice people.
Yeah,
but you shot them.
You shot them. And that's what we gotta, I'm not gonna sit here and blame no video game. Your parents, the people who brought you into the world, need to stop with the desensitization of life. Like,
Yeah.
Living is a great thing. There's a lot of people who right now on their deathbeds wish they had just a couple more seconds, and you have them. You got them couple more seconds.
Yeah.
Stop treating it like it's cheap. And I know there's like this influx where everybody wants to say they got mental issues these days. Anytime you about to do anything that would be considered irrational or whatever, oh no, it's because I got mental complications. Okay, fine. If you all want to blame mental issues for every single thing that you do, then by all means go for it. But the reality of it is, you have mental issues shouldn't have me feeling like I gotta walk around with my head on a swivel 24/7.
But like, if we get 100%, like, there's always gonna be people. There's messed up people in this world.
Yeah.
But I will say it like this: to hell with your mental issues.
When
it comes to life, your mental issues, don't nobody care. The only people that care is because they have an agenda behind caring.
Right. It just seems to me every time, like even with the 4th of July person, now they trying to say, oh, he had mental issues. Why? Every issue usually have an origin point. What was his origin issues? And I also know that part of his family, they was in turmoil for quite some time, going back and forth with they various issues. But I'm like, if the fact that you got a piss poor home life is gonna put my life in jeopardy, buddy, look, stop,
get out, run,
get out,
leave home,
quit.
I'm sorry.
I'm not promoting running away.
And the reason I say I don't care is because, hell, I wonder. There ain't too much I haven't been through. It ain't make me go like, oh man, I don't even like guns like that. Now I won't buy a gun just because everybody else got a gun, and I'm like, man, I can't have swords against guns.
Get you a gun, bro. Stop it.
I know, but it's like part of me was like if people knew my life story, they'd be like, dang, that's a lot, bro.
Yeah, it is.
But my thing is, it ain't never made me be like,
I need to get a gun.
I need a gun. You know what? Also, with a gun, I need to find some people take care of with this gun. I ain't never thought that. I go on Grand Theft Auto. Like, yes, I used to start thinking it was funny because I'm like, if you go on Grand Theft Auto, you have the guns or you get the baseball bat. You could bing people in the head with the baseball bat. I'm like, okay. Run down, bing people in the head with a baseball bat. But I ain't never in life been like, man, I gotta buy a baseball bat to knock somebody's head off.
Upside the head.
At what point are we gonna quit throwing mental issues at everything that is unjust?
Because even if you got mental issues, I also know that you understand the difference between right and wrong. Like, you have to know that.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that one kid got off on affluence, he's too rich to know. I'm like, that's a luxury and a privilege for the rich. Because you can't be too broke. Like, somebody needs to use that defense. I was too broke to know I couldn't rob a store. I ain't never been in one. Like, come on. I'm gonna jump But shout out to the Jerone Davis. If you want to sit up there and you gonna the commercial extremely funny because he holding the AR-15 and then he's like, it ain't many. He openly admits, ain't many reasons to have one of these, but and then he gives you most extreme situation of where you might need one. If not just the KKK, which I'm sure a large portion of the KKK have to be Republican, but let's not go there. If you got the Democratic KKK, not just KKK, they got to be Democratic. So if you Republican KKK, you A-OK. Democratic KKK running up on your line, you need to chase them off. It's okay to have an AR-15, and he's your candidate. And I respect that. Live your life, bro. I respect that. I ain't gonna fake, but that sound good to me. Also in this segment, you won't believe this, 200% rise of vasectomy after Roe v. Wade overturned by the Supreme Court. 200%.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad men are stepping up. Like, the reason we ain't talked about the Roe v. Wade is because I don't really want to touch that because it's too many different areas we could go with that. But I am proud that men are starting to step up to the plate. Like, men are really out here like, man, since you can't do it. There's been testimonies of men in the last couple of months that have said, I think it's unfair, and I'm doing this for my wife. Some guys are like, well, I'm doing this because I don't want no kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Like, I don't want no kids no more. So you know what? I'm going to cut out the middleman. If I can't shoot,
then I can't have them.
well, okay, I'm going to say it more professional. If I don't have any active swimmers, she can't get pregnant. If she can't get pregnant, we ain't got to worry about no kids. And I know every guy out here be like, man, nah, man, I still want to bust a nut and all that stuff.
No.
It's the exact same, except your sperm is not active. It's not live.
A lot of people view that as like mutilation of self, like you hurting yourself or you cutting off a function of a man.
Okay, so if we talking about that, then what about foreskin?
Yeah.
Because that's mutilation then.
That is too.
By those terms, that's mutilation.
Yeah.
So
you ain't gonna get no argument from me.
I
I'm
mean,
just telling you because this topic here gonna really be like, yeah, I agree. I gotta be devil advocate at least to let the people who don't have a voice have a voice.
I mean, that's fine, but I guess what I'm saying, and yes, I do have a vasectomy. I got a vasectomy after my daughter was born. Literally, the month after she came out, done. I'm done. I said, I know how many children I want. Me and my wife agreed to it. That's it. I ain't got to worry about it. Hell, I ain't got to worry about condoms. Okay.
No, live my life.
Like, I do what I do. It's still the same. You don't lose no feeling, no sensation, because I know dudes that have asked me, it's like, so does it still, I'm like, yes, it's still the same.
My question would be, so it'd be crazy to me to think about these things. Like, for women anyway, you know, a man most likely be like, oh, just get your tubes tied, because we desensitize ourselves to that act. Like, oh, just get your tubes tied. Whatever you got to do so we can just do this without having those issues, right? But on the flip side, the procedure that a man would take is far less invasive.
Yes.
And, you know, heal time quick, from what you said. I'm just going on what you're saying.
It's very quick.
And then on top of that, you're 99% effective. Like, the likelihood of you having one is very, 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 like, it's not almost non-existent.
See, and my thing is, I wish that men would do more research and quit listening to your stupid friends about it.
Yeah.
And I will have to say it on this one. I hold men accountable where I need to, because there's no reason that if you love your woman and y'all decide, hey, whether you marry or not, we don't want no more kids. We ain't trying to have no kids. Bro, just get it done. It only take about 15 minutes. It take 15 minutes. You're in and out. They do it in the doctor's office. On top of them doing it in the doctor's office, like, you gonna walk out. Like, my brother got it done. He was screwing that night. For me, I was like, I'm gonna wait a couple of days and all that kind of stuff. No,
like, I got the procedure done. I thought you had to ejaculate a certain amount of times.
You're supposed to ejaculate 20 times. So whether you want to rub 20 of them out that night or you want to have sex and bust in a couple, whatever, anything like that. After the 20th time, you take one specimen back to there. They're going to check it. And then they're going to give you a call and let you know that you have no active swimmers. And that just basically means your sperm is not is not alive to the point where you can get a woman pregnant. So then that cuts down the response of, hey, I don't have to worry about no abortions. I ain't got to worry about dealing with no crazy mamas. Like, any woman that will ever in life say that, oh, Jeremy got me pregnant, it better been a long time ago.
you got to show me a receipt. I need to know. Remember that time? And okay, I got to remember. Cause
me and my wife be cracking jokes about that. I'm like, man, if I have a baby, that baby better be about a good 10 years old.
Solid.
Like, you better be at least 10 before you could talk to me
about that. Don't come with me. But I do agree. Like, but there's a will, there's a way, and we already know people practice the abstinence thing, and I'm not saying that it's not. In an ideal world, abstinence would be amazing. People would be like, yes,
in the real world,
abstain for having sex. But the reality, to where that artificial construct does not exist, where we really live in, and you know that there's, at a certain age, the hormones get to kicking, and then the genes look just that much tighter on the female or whatever that may be. You understand that, no, I can't tell you not to do it, because I know at some point, most likely you will. Now, I can either preach safety, which is go get you a contraceptive method.
Yeah.
And I, for one, don't believe in that whole, what she says she on the pill. I don't care what she says. She don't have your contraceptive method, whether that be your local corner store, condoms.
And the pull-out method is not a contraceptive.
But, boy, we living on...
Man, I know.
Bro, I pulled out.
Hey, I pulled out, bro.
Pull-out game too strong. I can't even...
Bro, what about pre-cum?
Out here, you know I'm pull out king out here.
I heard that, and then I was like, oh man, he's over here messing up. But all I'm saying is be smart about what you do. Like, even before I got vasectomy, I was wearing condoms. I'm like, okay, condoms, because I ain't trying to have no issues.
No more. Like, you make as an adult, you make a firm decision.
And
we done, babe.
Like, people don't have this idea of there's more than one method you can use. Because even if you're like, oh, well, I want to do, like, if you trust somebody that much and they're on birth control, which one of the things I found out, and I'm like, is really true. Birth control really does mess up a woman's libido.
Yeah.
So women that are on birth control don't really have sex as much as women that are not on birth control.
And when you start taking into account all these people saying they have these mental issues, birth control has suicide. Like, it gives women suicidal thoughts. I'm not trying to knock birth control, but what I am saying is, look, bruh, you know, women go through a lot just so you can knock them down.
Yeah.
Without issue. I just feel like going to the store and buying, you know, some Trojan. I prefer to get one condom. You should go get those, better lubricants, better latex. Stop all that. Because, you know, back in the day, him with the Trojan, you come back with that burnt rubber smell after you finish.
But that was the whole thing was, I don't know who came up with the idea, but everybody was buying Trojans. And then people were buying Trojan Magnums, Trojan XLs, and all that stuff. I'm like, bruh, like, everybody don't, them Trojan Magnums smell like real rubber, like it stank.
Yeah, it smells like a balloon.
And I'm like, like, I always wonder what I'm like, is it me, or were we not supposed to be doing this? Or, like, it's the condom.
Bro, but I'm telling you, one condoms, they had the little rubber ducky on there, and it was like, rubber ducky, you're the, and then they had the one on there, and I was like, y'all nigga,
wow,
y'all come through.
Nah, I will tell you this one. This was a long time ago. I was around, I want to say about 14. This was when B2K IMX was out and everything. And they had that one song about Marcus Houston, My Very First Time.
Oh, you said strap twice?
Yeah. And the thing is we were in Orlando and everything, and basically they were in the room next to us. Man, so like they left out of their room and all that stuff, and the person was cleaning the rooms. So all of a sudden, as they're cleaning the room, they have some condoms on there that says "My first time." I was like, okay, thank you. And I took it. I showed my friends and everything. I was like, bruh, I got this IMX condom. It says "My first time." But then I was pissed because the actual plastic that said "My first time," like, I guess I had it in my pocket over time. It just disappeared. And I'm like, man, nobody gonna believe me now.
Just think if you had that right there and you had put that like a case or something, that would have went high on eBay, especially with the B2K reunion tour and all that junk. You would have been on.
Man, I was mad about it because it was yellow, and I was like,
losing money.
Oh, word? I was like, okay.
Losing money, bro.
I know it sounds bad. Like you stealing condoms off the cleaning cart.
Yeah. That's sad. That's real sad.
Bro, I was like 14. It was around 14 years old.
The opportunities that present themselves, we can't necessarily say when or when not to capitalize. I respect you for grabbing that condom off that cart, but I also feel like that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But if you would have made profit on eBay, I'd be like, you that nigga.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there still banging with them first time condoms.
I don't think they have them no more.
Somebody got it on the case. It's some girl out there was like, oh, I used one. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying, bro. They used them. So, vasectomy's going up. I'm with it. Do your thing, bro. Whatever you got to do to keep yourself safe and keep you in a position to where, hey, I don't want to deal with her. I ain't got to deal with her. Or vice versa. If you know you messing with a dude, if you gonna live hot girl summer or be side piece forever for the young man, young Sancho, go ahead, bro. Take the dive and commit to your status in life. Yeah. I'm not your baby father. I'm the guy that you see. I'm just the one who come through. Mm-hmm. I'm not the other guy.
And if you are worried about, man, I may want kids one day, you can always freeze your sperm. Just freeze it.
Yeah, and tell her, well, let's go to the bank and make a deposit real quick. And then when you get ready, we'll make a withdrawal. But you got to be ready within these 2-year span because they don't stay that long. But once you get ready.
Is it 2 years?
I think it's 2 years.
Oh,
it might be longer. I don't know.
And you can actually, they don't recommend you doing it, but you can actually get the procedure reversed within 5 years.
Okay.
So if within 5 years you just decide, man, we really want to have a baby, they don't want you to do that because it's like, it's a procedure. It's like,
they don't want you to treat vasectomies like light switches.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off, doc. You know what I'm saying? As a basketball player, when I'm on the road, I need it off. But when I'm off the road, I need it on. You see what I'm saying, doc? First of all, watch. I'm telling you. With this new, they going to have it where it's literally going to be a light switch. It's going to be like, you just flick it up. Oh, we trying to conceive. Like, let's go. You get there, get the drilling. You know what I'm saying? Bow.
But
yeah, that's what happened too.
These doctors' offices went from having three vasectomies maybe a day to having over 50.
Yeah.
I'm like, you realize how many dudes out here getting a vasectomy now?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Nah, we're going to fix that real quick.
Run through them. Let's go. But like I said, it's a 10-minute process, and voila. 15-minute process. We in, we out. We moved on. And like I said, if you somebody who championed the whole woman gets your tube tied, woman gets your birth control, woman gets you. Now we have the opportunity to take it upon ourselves, to rid ourselves of that complication in its entirety. No longer will she come to you and be like, I'm pregnant. I got this. Baby, I respect. And if you really is pregnant, I'm ecstatic for you.
Mm-hmm.
But problem is I'm out of that
It
game.
wasn't me.
It wasn't me. You the only one I've been with. Tell that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It would be funny if like Drake or somebody did that and some woman was trying to steal his sperm and all that. Oh, well, I'm pregnant by Drake. No, you're not.
It don't work like that. But I respect you trying. That's a good effort.
Mm-hmm.
You really
Hey,
did
no
do
more
that.
hot sauce.
Nope, exactly. Because there's no more special sauce.
Mm-hmm.
No more hot sauce because ain't no more special sauce out here. I'm just stating facts.
Secret sauce.
Secret sauce from out here. We don't know what's in sperm to make babies outside of sperm. We don't know what it is.
What are they called? They're called something else. When it's a lot of them. Like, I was researching it more when I got my procedure done, but what is it called? Somebody gonna tell me, but like the whole act of sperm, because it's only like a week and a half window that a person can get pregnant. But for some strange reason, it seemed like dudes be over here hitting that window all
consistent. You consistent with that window hit. But you also got to go into, one might have went in our relationship. She wanted more at this point in time. You go through, you hit because she really into it. And you in the window because she dictated. So the key to that is, man, you got to determine when you hitting, bro. You got to, when she hits you with that, I got a headache, be like, so this is the perfect time. That's what you're telling me.
Mm-hmm. This
No
time
kids.
we ain't got work.
But if you got a vasectomy, every time is the perfect time. You ain't worried about it. No pressure.
Under pressure.
I'm not gonna sit here and try to advertise for vasectomy unless you're gonna give me a sponsorship and pay. With the increased revenue, I'll get on here and tell you about it every day. I ain't got one. I intend to get one, but I ain't got one.
I'm gonna just tell you, get one.
I'm saying, this next will come out. This next will come out. It being a boy, I already told Lynn. Well, I don't know if it's a boy yet, but if it do come out, and be like, look, game over. I don't care how you feel about it. I ain't looking for it. I ain't trying to figure it out. Brian Hunter, over and out. Closing the curtain on this. And I am leaving that to you. At that point, Brian's done. I'm not trying to figure it out. Come up in here with another one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be walking about him.
It be like that.
It is what it is.
That's why I was like, man, like I know a lot of people like, oh, you such a jerk. I'm like, no, I'm just honest. Because me and my wife sat down, had the discussion. It's like, if the first pregnancy is anything like the second, if the second pregnancy is anything like the first pregnancy, you won't have a third pregnancy.
No, well, respect. My thing is, I'm just tired of kids. I don't want no more.
Don't get me wrong, kids is great. But oh my
They're great.
God, you don't get no time to yourself. Anybody that has kids will be on. If you honest with yourself, you agree 100% with me.
My thing is, I just want to go back to being the only person who eats my food.
Yeah.
I can't bring food. Literally this morning, I had some Powerade, bruh. I'm sitting there. You know how you drinking it? It's good because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Powerade busting. Paige saw that. You not gonna share? When you got your little juice box, ain't that shit that juice?
Man, it's bad because there was a meme talking about it. And I was like, I've done it. Where the parent is outside eating food before they come inside because they don't want to share no food.
Share. Because I already had, during I had to share all, I call it food tax.
Mm-hmm.
Like I pull up in the house, I owe taxes to my wife if it's food.
Yeah.
So she gonna be like, "Oh, I want some." She don't even be hungry. She just ate. I'm hungry. I want some. She just biting it to be like, "I'm collecting my taxes now. Thank you. You should have." Or I hate when I go to the store. I be like, "Oh, you want some?" No, I don't want nothing. I'm gonna just get some of yours. Don't you dare tell me outright that you gonna get some of mine. I'm like, I've been wanting to ask him, like, so what you gonna get? You gonna ask for some fries? You gonna ask for the piece of the burger? Because whatever you say, I'm gonna buy an extra one.
Hey, I already do that. I'm like, no, I just rather buy extra because I know there was the comedian Big Ja. He does skits and everything. He was like, man, I know how much I want, and I know how much I'm gonna eat, so I buy how much I'm gonna eat.
Proportion to me.
And if you tell me you don't want nothing, now either I have to decide to get you something, or you gonna tax mine. Then I'm gonna be mad because I ain't got how much I wanted.
I gave it away now. It's fun. It's hard. Being a man is hard now. But these days I be like, I need to collect my food tax. It's just the way it is. One, in my house, anything I buy is community property here.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can get. You ain't gotta. I don't want you walking up to me asking you, can you have some? And that's really a tribute to my mom and my pop. Because, you know, if they got snacks in the refrigerator, the only rule is if you get it, you better eat it. Because there's somebody else who really want it. That was the only way. Here, I live by those same rules. But right now, it's 2 boxes of water sitting over there. If I go grab one of them bottles of water, which in my opinion ain't just the greatest water in the world, it's pretty disturbing. Like, in my opinion, I'm like, this is pretty terrible water. Why would you buy this? But, you know, it's overpriced and it's nasty. I ain't gonna say their name because they might feel some type of way. But if I drank one of those, she'd be like, why are you drinking my water? Then I'd be like, why are you asking me? I literally paid to have a person drop water off to us and you drink that every other day. And you think, what if I just told you, don't you dare drink from these 3 5-gallon jugs that I've purchased?
Man,
You dare.
my kids are the worst. And the reason I say they're the worst is because they know what I like too. I want some of yours.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lock on my pantry because my son will actually come in there in the middle of the night while we asleep or something. Gonna get the things he wants. And you won't get one. He gonna get as much as he could possibly eat. And then we'll catch him in the bed with all the little food and snacks and stuff on. I'm like, so we put a lock on the pantry. This little boy, now I love my son, so don't get it twisted. But this little boy gonna go upstairs. He gonna get my keys to unlock the pantry to get snacks out. And I caught him doing it one day, and he looked like a deer in headlights when I'm like, so you just gonna... I bought a whole thing of Gushers 2 days ago. Within the first day, he over there trying to figure a way to get my keys, unlock the pantry, and get some Gushers. He took all the Gushers out from the top row and put them at the bottom row so he have easy access to get to them.
Smart man.
I was like, this. And imagine that with everything. Only time I get it to myself is if I'm in my car.
That's terrible. Why do we live like this as men?
I'm done with kids. I love them, but no.
I respect them. I respect kids. I respect their hustle. Come by, look cute, snatch. That's what they do. They want all your food. They want all your food, all your candies, all your stuff. Then leave you with the dentistry bill. They don't care. Kids are extremely reckless with your money, with your food. I be like, don't stop.
Oh, it's very true.
Yeah, but women, I don't know. Why women be the same way?
Yeah.
They only want it because, first of all, I remember one time a girl said, the reason I want your food as opposed to mine is because yours tastes better. I'm like, even if we bought the exact same thing? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that seasoning you talking about is inconvenience. Like somebody in the kitchen is throwing inconvenience right there in my salad or my steak. They just sprinkle it with inconvenience because you just inconvenienced the hell out of me snatching all my food.
Man, I always go down to Ray's Hot Links. Shout out to Ray's in East Texas. If you know about East Texas Hot Links and you really like them, Ray's. But the thing is, I'll buy them because I was the only one that really eat them. And I'm like, my wife didn't eat them because she was like, ugh, they look nasty, all that kind of stuff. But when you taste them, they really good. So I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to like them. Now, it's mine. I wanted this. I drove 100 and some miles to get this. Now, every time I go down there, oh, well, you didn't bring me back none?
Cause you don't like what happened. You don't like the way they look.
Now she want to start eating them. I'm like, you just won't let me have nothing.
You just want what I got. You just want you want mine.
It's a cold
All right.
world.
It is cold world. Is there any additional shout outs you want to do before we wrap this thing up?
Oh, shout out Nate Price, Grit and Grind. He is a personal trainer. He takes his time to actually help out, and he believes in his product.
Yep.
He's been on the podcast before, teaching us about getting in shape, even though I need to get back in the gym badly.
Understood. Same here.
But also shout out Aretha. Aretha, she's been on the show too. She actually does body sculpting, body contouring. She does ice
sculpting.
Yeah, ice sculpting, whatever it's called. And it's for women and men. She's had a lot of success. You could actually look at herself on Facebook or on Instagram. She's in Northeast Mall. Just check her out. Her shop is actually, it's not a kiosk, it's an actual shop.
Respect. Well, I mean, I hope you had it because you're doing cool sculpting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's actually it.
All right. Shout out Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. Go look him up. He's done clothing for the likes of T-Pain and various other people. Wendy Williams, when she was a thing. Oh, sorry for Wendy Williams. But I'm just showing love in a way.
Backhanded compliment.
It's not backhanded. I'm just stating facts. Also, you got my cousin Mike. He does SOB. Right now, he's streaming content on, I believe it's Twitch right now. So if you want to go and see him, he'll be playing video games. He'll be telling you about life. It's a beautiful thing. Show some love, show some support. You also got Mr. D-Mac. He's a barber. He cuts hair. I should see him. Yeah.
Oh, also, go to YouTube.
YouTube.
Look up something for the people.
How you spell that?
Something, the number 4.
Okay.
D-A.
D-A.
People.
People.
Now, if you can't spell something or you can't spell people, you shouldn't be watching.
Yes. It's kind of difficult, the content we, give out if you can't spell something. The number 4. D-A. People.
Just it's just giving you a little something extra for the people.
Yeah.
Check us out.
Check
like,
us out
subscribe.
on YouTube.
Yes, because at some point in time, we're not going to be on Facebook anymore. So
yeah,
please check us out. Look us up. We can actually do a little more on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it helps us.
It helps us. And if you don't want to go to YouTube, which I hope that you do, because most people do, you can also find us on various other
basically
podcast
everything.
Platforms.
We're on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify,
Anchor.
Anchor. We're on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
We're on Pandora.
Yep.
Basically, we're on everything.
Stitcher.
Podcast Breaker, and Stitcher.
Like if it's an app that it can be placed on your phone for a podcast, you can find us. With that being said, this has been another episode of Something for the People.
Be